The family of 42-year-old Bradley Bobian of Chesterfield Township says it was Monday night. He had just gotten off work and was walking home here along Cotton Road, heading east over the overpass of 94 when he was struck and killed. And according to police, the driver just kept on going. This stretch of Cotton Road between the Chesterfield Crossing Shopping Center and 94 has a reputation.
Cars don't really pay attention because they're going fast, so.
They drive by pretty fast, you know, because it's 35 over there, but it's a straight line and there's no stop, so you just keep on going.
That, combined with a lack of sidewalks.
There's absolutely no access for people to walk.
And the absence of streetlights.
Chesterfield's a nice area, decent property taxes. They could definitely add more streetlights if they wanted to.
Can prove to be dangerous.
All I heard was a loud thump. And no skids, no nothing, because that would have brought me out.
But it would be morning, around 6:30, when Chesterfield Township police were called for a body that was found in the grass along Cotton Road. According to family, it would be 42-year-old Bradley Bobian. According to police, the hit and run which took his life took place between 11:30 Monday night and 6:30 in the morning.
That is a long window. How did nobody see this man?
Police spent most of the morning on scene. They released this photo of a black Jeep Grand Cherokee between the model years of 2017 to 2021, with damage to the right passenger side headlight and turn signal. Anyone with information on where that Jeep may be or who it belongs to should call police. In Chesterfield Township, Dave Spencer, on The Edge.
My mother called me when I was on the runway and just sobbing over the phone and had told me that Luke had tragically passed away on his way to work.
A man loses his life on a Macomb County road. 27-year-old Luke Williford died Monday morning while riding his motorcycle to work. He collided with a wrong-way driver. The crash happened at Gratiot and 12 Mile in Roseville. We're told the driver of the truck is cooperating with police, but it's not clear tonight why they were going the wrong way. Williford leaves behind 2 children.
The individual blew through several lights going southbound on Telegraph, and unfortunately blew through one light and made contact with a uninvolved citizen.
A driver leading Dearborn Heights police on a chase causes a violent crash in Taylor. Luckily, the victim he hit is okay. Police tell us the driver was tipping speeds of 105 miles per hour. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. Once he's cleared, he will be charged. Dearborn Heights police say after review of the dash cam video, they stand by the officer's actions. The Dearborn fire chief arrested and accused of driving drunk.
Body camera footage shows Joseph Murray as he was pulled over early this morning on Telegraph near Dartmouth. Murray apparently refused a breathalyzer test at the scene and admitted to having a few.
And how many did you have? 4 beers?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 beers.
4 or 5? All right, because I mean, let's just be honest. You're absolutely ripped, right? You're hammered, you're drunk. You can barely speak. You can barely stand up.
Now, at one point, officers tried to get Murray to stand on 1 foot before realizing it was close to impossible.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
I want you to follow the tip of my finger with your eyes. Keep your head still.
Yes, sir.
Let's try it one more time. Give me your best shot.
Hold on, sir.
Yep, foot in the air, approximately 6 inches, and 1001, 1002, 1003.
Sorry.
Legs, see how my legs straight, toes pointed, like this, see? Like that. Oh my gosh, we're not going to do that because you're going to bump your noggin.
Dearborn's Mayor Abdullah Hammoud releasing a statement saying in part, the administration was notified of an incident involving our fire chief. We are taking this matter seriously.
There is still a long way to go in the GOP's presidential primary.
Former President Trump has a substantial lead in the polls, but right now there's an effort to keep him off the ballot over his criminal charges. Fox News' Camilla Miri explains.
When it comes to presidential politics,
every time we think we've seen it all, something else happens.
Especially when it comes to former President Donald Trump. Despite being indicted in 4 separate criminal cases, he's running for president again in 2024. But now there is talk of whether individual states can keep him off the primary ballot. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson weighing in on the issue on a MERS News podcast on Monday.
That's something that a lot of legal scholars are weighing in on right now. I think the bottom line for me is we're going to follow the law. We're going to follow the Constitution. We're going to see how these constitutional Additional and legal questions, which are not cut and dry, play out in the months ahead.
This is where the 14th Amendment comes into play, specifically Section 3, which prohibits anyone who has previously taken an oath of office from holding public office if they have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States.
I think that if Donald Trump is barred from being on the ballot in Michigan or any of the other states, I think you will see his supporters rally around him even more than they already have, become more staunch in their support.
Benson says it's far too soon to assess the likelihood of whether or not Trump's name will be withheld from Michigan's primary ballot.
I have said for really since 2020 that this presidential cycle in 2024 is, I believe, in many ways going to be the grand finale of all of the bumps and the challenges we've seen and endured since the 2020 election cycle.
And when it comes to former President Trump,
he's not been convicted of anything yet, right? I mean, this legal process is just going to continue to play out with more and more angles appearing apparently every day.
Camille and Mary on the Edge.
If you have not evacuated, you need to do that right now.
If you're there while that hits, it's going to be very difficult to survive that.
People in Florida being warned not to underestimate Hurricane Adalia as it heads for Florida's Big Bend region, where the Florida Panhandle curves into the peninsula. Forecasters warn the storm will hit Florida with wind gusts up to 120 miles per hour. And Fox News' Rich Luderman is tracking the hurricane for us.
He's looking at a very nice stretch of weather, though, for us here in Metro Detroit. Rich.
Big time. No complaints heading into the Labor Day weekend for us, but here's Adalia. And this is the Big Bend area. Of course, this is the Panhandle of Florida. This is the Florida Peninsula, and it's this Big Bend. And thankfully, if there's any consolation, this is not a very populated part of the state. So we're going to be watching Adalia come ashore tomorrow morning, and all of the dangers are in play. The high wind, the storm surge, inland flooding, and yes, tornadoes as well. Here's a great look at Adalia on radar, well to the west of Tampa. So it looks like Tampa is going to escape the worst of this storm as it's heading up here further to the north. How about live pictures from Tampa? Certainly blustery there. Hurricane warnings continue. Temperatures in the middle to upper 70s. For us, it was a pretty nice day. Then we had a cold front cross the area this evening with scattered showers and a few heavy downpours, a couple of rumbles of thunder out there as well. All of that action is now on the Canadian side of the border. Earlier today, mid to upper 70s for a lot of us. A few spots hit 80 degrees. Officially, Metro Airport at 79. There's your sunset getting earlier and earlier now. Look at all these numbers falling into the lower 60s. Many of these numbers heading into the middle 50s. There's the breeze from the north and west. How about the cool spots on the map? Newberry is at 50 degrees right now. No joke. Ironwood way up in the western UP, 46 degrees. There's our cold front racing off to the east. It is a bit cooler in behind it, so tonight and tomorrow on the chilly side, but as high pressure builds in, this high is going to give us a long, dry stretch of weather. You'll see it in the 7-day forecast. So cooler tonight. Showers are over. We're down to 56. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun, back to 69. We may not make 70 tomorrow. And then there it is, that 7-day forecast, warming up nicely heading into the weekend. 78 Friday, mid-80s Saturday. Look at that. Near 90 degrees for Sunday and for Labor Day Monday. No mention of rain. We'll check it starting at 4 a.m. Root, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Rich. Talk to you soon. Tragedy in Washtenaw County. A grandfather is dead after capsizing while kayaking with his young grandson in Northfield Township. Rescue crews spent hours on Horseshoe Lake looking for the 69-year-old man. The Washtenaw County dive team used sonar to recover his body in 21 feet of water just before 2:30 this afternoon. Now, the 3-year-old was safely removed from the water. Well, you've heard more about smash and grab robberies recently, and now authorities have arrested a crew in Metro Detroit.
Yes, 4 people are now in custody for brazen thefts at Great Lakes Crossing and Oakland Mall. Authorities were first alerted of the alleged thieves on August 11th when 2 males wearing surgical masks used hammers to smash jewelry displays at MJ Diamonds at the outlet malls in Auburn Hills. Store employees were pepper sprayed during that theft. The FBI got involved and tracked the suspect vehicle to Oakland Mall on August 24th. The thieves struck again, this time using the same MO at Macy's. They were caught. The 4 suspects are now facing numerous charges. We have learned they are not from our area. 3.5 years later, COVID-19 doesn't seem to be going away.
Not as serious, of course, as it was once it first came out, but still, there's a new variant that's on the rise. It's called BA.286, with the first American case detected here in Michigan. The CDC says BA.286 may be more capable of causing infection in people who previously had COVID or received COVID vaccines as well. So far, there's no evidence the new variant will cause more severe illness.
We are at what is a low when you look at today compared to other times in the pandemic. We are still at lows that we have not seen through the pandemic. So we're still in a good place here in Michigan.
And that is good news. Updated COVID-19 vaccines are set to arrive this fall.
Getting wasted on fentanyl. Government leaders are now looking in the sewer to track drug trends. That story and much more coming up on The Edge.
And before we head to break, a special shout out to Annie House of Detroit. Today, this very special lady turned 100 years old, and a group of bikers surprised her with a celebration. You see, Annie used to love bikes and ride. She rode a lot when she was younger. Annie, you are definitely on the edge, and you're living life on the edge, and we wish you nothing but a very happy birthday.